welcome to Leaders of Tomorrow, India's only daily television platform for small businesses. Over the past 7 years, we've understood what matters most to you, the entrepreneur, and in year 8, we're taking head-on 2 of your most pressing concerns, that of funding and mentoring. I'm Sananda Jayaseelan on the show tonight, bringing you an exclusive conversation with Harsh Mariwala, chairman of Marico, and also the head as far as the Ascent Foundation is concerned. Also on tonight's episode, 2 conversations. First up is with Carriyo. On the other side, we'll also bring you ScootQ. In my first interview tonight, I caught up with Harsh Mariwala, a man who needs no introduction. I spoke to him about a book that's just been launched by the Marico Innovation Foundation, the 7 Sutras of Innovation for Entrepreneurs. I asked him about his sutras or his mantras for innovation, his mantras as far as entrepreneurship is concerned, and also his very prolific entrepreneurial journey and his advice for our viewers. Listen in. Thank you so much for your time here, Mr. Mariwala, talking the big picture on innovation. And I know that while we do manage to get time with you, to engage with you every year on the Leaders of Tomorrow, there's just so much that can be discussed when it comes to innovation for entrepreneurs. And I would like to start by talking about a recent book that has been brought out by the Marico Innovation Foundation called the 7 Sutras for Innovation for Entrepreneurs.
Yes.
Before I come to the book itself,
Yes.
I do want to understand and pick your brains for our viewers on what perhaps are maybe not 7, maybe 1 or 2 sutras of innovation for Harsh Mariwala.
So I would say that for me as well as for the country, the most important sutra is actually risk-taking and removing the fear of failure, because the Indian society is very hierarchical and the parents expect their children to win, always win, and if there is a failure, it is looked down upon. And I think that kind of mindset prevents children to take risks and fail. And every innovation has to be coupled with failures, because until there are failures, you will not learn. So I think it's very important to experiment on a perpetual basis, remove the fear of failure, and more importantly, learn from the failures. And unless you learn from the failures, you will not innovate. And it's very difficult to predict whether any innovation will succeed. You may get a brilliant idea, but you overlook some part of how to execute it, or you not thought through how to launch it. So I think it's very important that you think differently. And for innovation to flourish, diversity is very important. So you need views of different individuals from different backgrounds, whether it is gender diversity or whether it is educational diversity or coming in from different parts of India or from India as well as international. So I think a lot of what has happened in USA is because of the fact that there is huge degree of diversity in that country, and you have so many immigrants coming into USA. So many Indians have done exceedingly well in USA. And on top of that, an open society, people are not afraid to speak out. So open, trusting society, diverse, removing fear of failure.
And risk-taking.
And risk-taking is something which builds the innovation pipeline.
What is perhaps one thread then that's running through all of these companies that have been featured in the book, or India's greatest companies? What's the one thread that you think is common to them?
I think the leadership drives the innovative culture in an organization. So it's very important that the leaders set the right example in creating a culture of innovation, so that innovation happens on a perpetual basis in any organization. You just don't want one innovation to happen and then after that some other individuals or other organizations copy you, and then you lose that the advantage you had in terms of the lead. So you need on a perpetual basis a series of innovations to come out of your own company, and for that to happen you need to have leadership which supports innovation, which recruits diversity, which promotes risk-taking, where they remove the fear of failure. So I think the culture of innovation and the top management desire to innovate is very, very critical for any organization.
Okay. I do know that innovation is very close to your heart. You do, of course, have the Marico Innovation Foundation. But even all through even the initial days at Marico, innovation is something that you ensured that was being incorporated into the fiber of the company, which is why Marico is the company it is today. How do you ensure, no matter how big or small a company is,
Yes.
that innovation still stays at its core?
So I think again I'll go back to what I said earlier about the top management. They have to go on demanding innovation. First of all, you create a culture of innovation, and then you have to go on demanding. For example, if I have somebody making a presentation to me for a new product, the first question I would ask is, what is the innovation you have incorporated into that new product or service?
Okay.
Because in a highly competitive environment, it is very difficult to succeed if you have a Me Too kind of a product. So if there is an expectation from the bottom that the top is going to ask questions which are related to innovation, what is innovative, then they will start thinking about it before they come to me or to the top. So I think it's very important that the top demands innovation and supports it by not only creating the culture but any other resources you require to build innovation, because innovation doesn't happen in R&D lab. So it's very important from the time the idea comes to the time it is executed, it may undergo many changes. So, and in that process many times it may be a good idea to get the outside in. For innovation to flourish, you need to get the outside in. What is happening? What is happening in the other developed markets which is not happening in India? And that is a huge source of innovation, whether it's the vegan trend or it is the trend towards natural or sustainable. A lot of such innovations have happened in other developed countries, and these are global trends. They are bound to come to India.
Okay. I do want to talk about the work that Marico Innovation Foundation is doing. 2 or 3 of the highlights that you want to share with our viewers.
So we have been in existence for many years now. We started in 2003, and we have evolved over a period of time in terms of the kind of work we are doing. Initially we started doing research on innovation, and then we went into innovation awards. We started teaching innovation. We've been having these innovation awards once in 2 years, and over a period of time those awards have got a huge traction in terms of attraction, attendance. So now we have more than 1,000 people who attend the awards, and it's become a signature event in terms of innovation recognition. And our process of judging the award winners is very unique.
Okay.
It's a lot of research work which goes in prior to the shortlisted entries which come to jury. So first research gets us a short list of about 10 to 15 organizations, and then what happens is those 15 organizations are visited by a knowledge partner. They actually verify what is the innovation which has happened in that particular organization. Unlike many other awards where the awards are decided within a couple of hours, And I think that really makes them stand out. And more than that, once the award winners are chosen, we go into great details in terms of what they should be speaking on. We don't want them to speak on thanking their brother or mother or father. And that's how, it's like a TED talk, where they will only talk about what is the innovation which they have done. So it's a very short, high intensity talk of the innovation which they have done. And I think that's why the Innovation Award function gets a lot of traction, a lot of attention, a lot of recognition in the innovation overall ecosystem.
Okay. I want to look at the big picture also on innovation and ask you to really talk to us about, one is we've been talking about your sutra, your mantra as far as innovation is concerned. How about your mantra for entrepreneurship? One thing that perhaps has held you instead all these decades that you've been a leader in India Inc.
So I think entrepreneurs, let me say that they add a lot of value to the society, and we are underestimating the value the entrepreneurs are adding to each and every part of the society, whether creating jobs or giving back to taxes or creating new customers or fulfilling a need. So I think entrepreneurs add a lot of value. And I think the most important thing for an entrepreneur to succeed is to create a strong right to win. So how will you win in the marketplace is very, very important. And that win in a highly competitive marketplace can only come through innovation, or it can come through some pioneering initiative, or depending on the kind of business you are doing, you do something unique. For example, if you're a technology-based company, you have a patent, leverage that patent, or if you're in the service industry, you have absolutely top-class service which will make you stand out compared to your competition. So I think the key thing is to identify a very strong right to win which will make you succeed in the business And for that again to happen, you need very good quality talent. So talent culture combined with the proposition which you're offering will create strong entrepreneurs.
Okay. One message that you'd perhaps like to leave our entrepreneurs with in the current, macroeconomic situation, both globally as well as in India.
Yes.
The job situation is not looking good. The economy is not looking good. What would you like to leave our entrepreneurs with?
So I think we need to, I think there are ups and downs in business, in our own lives. Everybody goes through stresses. There are ups when you do extremely well in your personal lives. All of a sudden, even in things like a game of golf, someday you'll have the best round, someday you'll have the worst round.
Yeah.
You can't get discouraged, you can't get demotivated. It's going to pass.
Sure.
So I'm saying it's a cycle which will pass. So it's not something which is highly depressing where the whole world is going to come to an end. And I'm sure this will pass. Especially in India, a country like India, we have to grow with such a large population and so many people wanting to get jobs. There are enough pressures for the government, for everybody else to ensure that we grow. So all I'm saying is that it's a matter of time. Just have that patience, just have that optimism, think positively, and pass through that period, and then you will see good times.
Okay, on that very, very optimistic note, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you. Slip in a short break. On the other side, two companies in focus tonight in our LOT in Dubai special series. First up is Carriyo. On the other side of a break is ScootQ. First up on our special series LOT in Dubai, I'm being joined by Faisel Azeez, founder and CEO of Carriyo. Faisel, good having you on the Leaders of Tomorrow tonight. I do want to talk about Carriyo, what you can tell our viewers about the product and what really helps you stand out in this market.
Thank you for having me on the show. So Carriyo is a last mile management solution for online retailers. It's a single platform which brings together all local and global last mile providers into one single platform. So retailers can connect to it and they have access to the entire ecosystem of carriers. And it not just connects to the carriers, it also brings data back from the carriers and provides a single view where retailers can see the entire last mile. So they can see start to finish operationally what their last mile is doing and where the pain points are, and they can pinpoint the problem areas and then improve efficiencies. So that's the not so exciting bit. The most exciting bit about Carriyo is really Carriyo provides a different take. It's reimagining last mile by wearing the customer hat on.
Any challenges that you can talk about when it comes to having developed this product?
Key challenge for me personally has been trying to run my day job, which was quite intense, and building this product in parallel. So that living two lives together as for an entrepreneur initially can be quite challenging. You need a lot of conviction and your belief in your idea to see that period through. I think that was the most challenging, almost died night. But it was quite breaking point really. That was for me the most challenging period. And the second part, sorry, I forget, is the technology challenge. Trying to get the right people. If you're building a technology product and you're a technologist, which I am, you take a lot of pride in how you build your technology and how you shape it, right, your product. And then if you can't, onboarding the right people has been a challenge. So we are very lean, and we're very lean because we haven't still found the right people. And of course, we are not Googles and the Amazons of the world to pay really, really well. So people who kind of join us have to believe in the idea, have to believe in the person leading the team, and should be passionate about it. So finding the right people can be quite challenging.
I do want to talk about the partnership with IN5 and how that has perhaps benefited Carriyo. What can you tell us?
Thank you for that question. I really like to talk about In5. In5 is very close to my heart. I love In5. I didn't hear about it, to be honest, until I was researching options how to set up companies in Dubai. And Dubai, of course, makes it very easy for you to set up company, right? And there's a lot of options and a lot of free zones, etc., right? But In5 didn't come in my list till very late, and somebody told me, and wow, this is great. You know, the whole ecosystem at In5 has been great. So apart from all the benefits that it offers in terms of mentorship, access to funding, co-working space, the best thing about In5 for me personally is that collaboration and that extended family that it's given me. One of the things I thought I would miss having worked in big organizations is the social element of it, but I'm not missing that, because in In5 you've got hundreds of people, you're jostling for space, you you've got meeting rooms, people in and out, and everybody is a startup, so you can learn from each other's experience. And somebody said to me the other day, oh, we're just closing a $2 million funding round. I'm like, wow, we haven't even started funding, but you got people who can get there. It's quite it's rewarding in a way, and it reinforces your belief in your product, and I think it's brilliant. It's a great space. You got subsidized company setup. You got very low rental. It's great people you're working with. You're working with some of the best people who would be tomorrow's technology leaders. Well, I know In5 does more than technology, but yeah.
Okay, let's wrap this interview up, Faisal, by talking about the long-term vision that you have for the company.
So Carriyo has started off with a vision of making last mile easy for retailers. So retailers are best at buying and selling, and that's what they should focus on. That's their core business, right? So we want to take away the last mile pain for the retailer. So regardless of whether it's a global retailer catering to 100 plus countries or a regional retailer catering to one market, we want to give the retailer, the online retailer, the choice to capitalize on the innovation in last mile. So they don't have to be technology geniuses to capitalize or to benefit from the innovation in last mile.
All right, Faisel Azeez, thank you so much for your time here on the Leaders of Tomorrow.
Thank you very much for having me. It was great to be on your show.
That was Carriyo. Let me also quickly welcome on the show Suheb Ahmad, co-founder of ScootQ, to talk to us about the company. Suheb, good having you here. Let's start this interview by asking you to talk to our viewers about the idea behind ScootQ and give us a brief sense of the company and the business model.
ScootQ is a self-checkout app. Basically, you will never have to stand in a queue. That was our intention. So I was in the supermarket, I was almost done with my shopping, yet I had to stand in a long queue for 15 minutes, and I was thinking there has to be a better way to deal with this. Hence, we came up with ScootQ. ScootQ is a self-checkout app which you can use to go to any store you want, scan the items, pay in the app, and walk out. From minutes to seconds. That's what our original intention was, and this is what we are doing now.
We were just talking to Carriyo about their experience working with the IN5. Could you tell us about what your experience has been like?
So our experience with In5 has been nothing but amazing. We joined In5 about November last year, and since then we have been helped in various different problems, such as setting up a company in Dubai, which is a painstaking process. It was a very smooth process with In5. They helped us through mentorship and training programs, for which we are really grateful, because it helped us to understand a local market much more better than our understanding.
What sort of mentors do you typically tend to look out for? Suheb, can you tell us that?
Most of the mentors that I'm actually looking out for is helping me to drive the connections so I can meet new potential clients or partners that we are searching for. And second thing is to understand the local market. So Dubai is a very specific market in general. 80 to 90% of the population is expat coming from different countries. So you are ranging a wide variety of audience, and you're catering to that audience. So you really need to understand how to deal with them. And that really helps you out how to set up your marketing strategy around it, how to set up your plannings and spending around it. So this is what it helps us out to figure those things.
What kind of opportunities does a market like Dubai offer to startups, Suheb, as someone who's based there and has seen really the evolution of the market? Just give us a sense of the highlights really for small businesses, for startups there in Dubai.
Absolutely. So Dubai recently opened up to the whole startup community. Like one of the biggest startup gigs that happened, Carriyo, about $3 billion. They were bought out. And since then, more and more startups are solving such problems, not for Dubai, for the whole MENA region. So Dubai is the hub for Saudi Arabia, Kuwait, Bahrain, Oman, everybody. People do business and set up their headquarters in Dubai, and they solve a problem in such an untapped market that nobody's actually looking at. So Dubai really helped us to bring up into the top of the world, getting investors across the globe, and most importantly, providing an infrastructure that is unparalleled in this region. So this is what Dubai is offering us as a startup.
How about the startup environment as far as Indian startups are concerned? Suheb, can you talk to us? And also, any interesting startups that are perhaps creating quite a buzz there in the Dubai market that you can talk to us about?
So Indian startup scene is completely bizarre. I mean, the pace at which the Indian startup community is going on is unparalleled. I mean, you cannot even compare Silicon Valley now to Indian startup. It's just either Indian startup or a Chinese startup, and Indians are winning by a big margin to a certain degree. Few of the cool startups that I really think are making their names is, of course, Swiggy. They are going super fast with their last mile delivery options.
For a budding entrepreneur who's looking to kickstart their journey in Dubai, what would you have to tell them?
One advice that I would give anyone who's just starting their startup journey in Dubai is definitely do your homework. Just to start your company and get the whole process moving, it takes a lot of time. So make sure that you know someone or you can reach out to someone who can help you out. In5 is offering a free community program such as consultations and everything, so you can get advice on. There are similar setups done by the Dubai government that really helps you to figure out what kind of startup you need, what kind of license you need. And if you're not aware of it, it can take as much as 3 to 4 months just to get started. The other advice that I can definitely give is try early, try to launch as quickly as possible and understand your customers. Again, it's really important because of the customer dynamics in so many countries they come from. If you really don't understand your customers, maybe you're spending money on something else that is not going to deliver value. So you really have to be careful. And for that, you need to go early, fail early, learn early, and then repeat.
All right, Suheb Ahmad, thanks for your time here on the Leaders of Tomorrow.
Thank you so much.
Completely out of time on this episode of Leaders of Tomorrow. If you have any feedback for us, here's how you get in touch. Our contact details is up on your screens in just a moment to let us know what you thought of tonight's episode. For tonight, it's a wrap. Thanks for watching.